Hello, my name is Rebecca Hewitt, and I'm one of the assistant principals here at South Forsyth High School. I'm going to be sharing information with you from one of our parent night sessions on March 3rd, 2020, called Soaring through SFHS. And this is really just looking at a student's progression through 9th through 12th grades and what courses are needed in order to graduate and how we do the scheduling process here at South. So to get started, we provided a handout to parents, which we will also attach on the website with this presentation, that really outlines how many credits your student needs in order to receive a Georgia high school diploma. Students need 4 years of English, 4 years of math, 4 years of science, 3 credits of social studies, which social studies is a little bit different because really their credits start in their sophomore year for graduation. So they need world history, US history, and then their senior year, they'll take government and economics, which are a half a credit each. So that's the total of 3. Many of our students do take a social studies class during their freshman year, which can count towards their elective credits, but isn't required for graduation. Students are also required to do health and personal fitness, which are a half credit each. And then they need 3 credits in either career tech, world languages, or fine arts. They can do any combination of those 3. So for example, a student might choose to take 3 years of a world language. They might do 3 years of different art classes or 3 years of a career tech pathway. Some students also choose to do a combination. So maybe they want to do 1 career tech class and 2 world language, or they could take 2 art classes and 1 world language. So there's any combination that can exist there as long as they have those 3 credits. Additionally, they need 4 other elective credits, and they have plenty of opportunities to earn those over the next 4 years when they are at South. So for a total, they need 23 credits in order to graduate for that high school diploma. However, most students do have an opportunity to receive at least 28 credits because they can take up to 7 classes each school year over the next 4 years. Students can also earn high school credits from middle school, so perhaps they took physical science, algebra 1, band or chorus. Those credits do count towards graduation. They just do not count in their GPA on their transcript. During the course recommendation process, we ask teachers to meet with students individually to make recommendations for their courses for the next school year. So in English, math, science, social studies, and world languages, students will meet with their teachers, as well as our career tech pathway. Teachers meet to recommend them for the next level in their pathway. And teachers are really looking at students' content proficiency. So how are they, doing with learning the curriculum during the current school year? They're going to look at their student skills and really determine what skills they'll need in the next level course and where that appropriate recommendation should be. We know that the teacher recommendation is one of the best ways to determine student success in the course for the next year. So we just strongly encourage you to follow that teacher recommendation before thinking about waiving your student into a different class. So a lot of times when we're talking about student schedules, we see that parents, have a lot of myths out there, or the students even. There's a lot of myths that they talk about a lot and things that we hear come up. And so we kind of want to talk through some of those myths and then really look at what is the current reality in regards to student schedules. So one myth is that students often pick courses based on peer pressure. They're just picking classes to be in, maybe different courses with their friends. And we encourage them to just be their own person and really choose courses best for them. Some students are doing what we call GPA chasing. So they're taking courses because they just want to get extra quality points to, get a certain GPA because they have to worry about getting into a certain college or university. We just want to remind you that, it's not all about the GPA. There's another great parent session that we offered about the college admission process, which talks a lot about GPAs and how that factors into their college admission. So I definitely suggest you watch that presentation. Sometimes students look at prior experiences, maybe from an older sibling that took a course, and so they say they don't want to take the course because their sibling didn't like it. Once again, just want them to remember that they can have their own experience that might not be the same as other people. Sometimes students try to rush through their high school years by taking summer online courses so that they can take higher level courses at an earlier age. Just know that a lot of colleges and universities are telling us that they, don't like to see summer online courses on a student's transcript because they know they're not as rigorous as what is offered in the building. So we just caution you there when you're making those choices to take courses online over the summer. We also see that a lot of times students aren't as successful for the next level course if they have taken it online during the summer. Some students believe they have to have all advanced placement classes or honors classes, which is not true. We just encourage you to really try to find a balance. A lot of students sometimes say that, they're going to take a course because they hear that it's an easy, AP course. And AP courses are advanced placement courses that are taught with, college board standards. And those are college level courses being taught at the high school level. Our teachers are very good at, making sure that the curriculum is appropriate for high school students. But just know that, there's really no such thing as an easy AP course. They're all rigorous and just like, most courses are in the building. There's also not anything called a 9-week trial period. A lot of times we hear students say this, that they thought that they could just try out a class for a little while and then they could switch out of it if they decide that they're not doing well or they decide that they don't like it. And that's not true. Once we set student schedules, there can be very little movement because we don't have very many places in the building and other seats and other courses that we can move them to. So realities of student schedules that we want you to think about: look at balance in your student schedule, help them understand, that it's okay to have a mixture of honors versus on level versus AP. We see a lot of students that have, high levels of anxiety, and we, strongly are worried about their social emotional health and, how they're able to perform with these heavy course loads. So we just, ask that you look at the coursework for each class. Students can always go talk to teachers of the next level and ask them about, the coursework that will be required of them in the next level course to just help them make the best decision during the registration period. Also think about your students' involvement in extracurriculars, if they, play a sport, if they're working a part-time job, because those can be factors that could impact what classes they're picking as well. It's very good for students to have what we call progressive rigor. A lot of colleges and universities want to see that students are challenging themselves in one particular area, like math. Maybe over the course of their 4 years, they've progressively moved up, to try a more challenging course. So it's not that they have to have all AP or honors right away. Look at your students' work ethic. You know them the best, and you'll know if they're able to handle the coursework required for certain courses. And once again, we always just say follow that teacher recommendation. Waivers. So if students do realize that the courses that have been selected for them by their teachers, that they disagree with the decision, we offer a waiver period. And so that will open on March 16th and will last until March 23rd. Right now that link is not active, but it will open up on those dates. If you're waiving from an honors or an AP course to an on level, we automatically approve those waivers. If you're choosing to waive from an on level to a more challenging course like honors or AP, if you're choosing to do that in 2 or more courses, we will require you to have a face-to-face meeting with an administrator or a counselor. And this is new this year. So just know that we will offer waiver discussion appointments on March 23rd, 27th, and 28th. We will send out a link for you to be able to register for those should your student be trying to waive into 2 or more courses. We want to have a one-on-one conversation with you so that you understand, the coursework and requirements involved with that. Know that sometimes students' waivers get denied automatically because they don't meet certain prerequisites necessary in order to take the course. And so that would be one reason that they may see that their waiver gets denied. Parent portal registration is currently active and will be open until March 11th at 4 p.m. Students do need a total of 7 courses in the portal, so they need to see that number 70 out of 70. Year-long courses equal what it shows as a 10, and semester courses equal what it shows as a 0.5. If you're going to register for any semester courses, make sure you pair those. So you do driver's education paired with, let's say, for instance, Intro to Lifetime Sports. Or we offer a new course this year that's a semester course called Personal Finance. But you do need to enter both course numbers in the portal in order for that to register. These is just a snapshot of the important dates. So the elective portal opened on Wednesday, March 4th and will close on March 11th. Our online waiver will open on March 16th and last until March 23rd at 4 p.m. And like I said, we will offer online waiver appointments. All of these links can be found on our counseling website under the registration page. Students will have a final review of their course selections in the portal on March 31st through April 2nd. This is not their final schedule that they will, necessarily see in the fall. We do spend all summer, putting students into classes and using the computer to allow us to be able to create the master schedule. But this will be able be a view for them to see the courses that they were recommended for, that they chose as their electives. Make sure too that students are choosing 3 alternates for all their elective choices, so that we can ensure that we have different options available to them. Students often in the fall will come to us and want different types of schedule changes, and this may not just happen in the fall, could occur, during the school year as well. And once again, we have some myths with this and things we kind of often hear people say, and then, what are the real reasons and the reality of why we would do a schedule change. So we do change student schedules if they are in the wrong course needed for graduation. Also, if they've already received credit for a course, we would change their schedule. Or if we're looking at balancing class sizes at the beginning of the school year, when we do have some students that are kind of in transition, as we start back to the school, if students have taken classes online over the summer and we have to look at moving them into a different class. Reasons that we do not change a schedule. A lot of times students say, well, I just want to be with my friend and want to switch class periods. We can't do that. Sometimes students don't want to be in a particular lunch period. Lunch periods are assigned by teachers, so there's not really anything we can do to change their schedule there. Sometimes we hear students say, I heard that teacher's too difficult, and so I don't really want to take that teacher. We don't honor teacher requests, so unfortunately, they would stick with the teacher that they have. Sometimes students will just tell us that they're not interested in a particular course. Obviously, if it's a course required for graduation, we can't make a change there. But sometimes this really comes into play when they're choosing electives. So please make sure that they only choose electives and list alternates for courses that they are really interested in taking. Students often, after being in a course for a period of time, will want to move out of the class because they have a bad grade. Maybe they're failing the course. And once again, we do not honor those requests either. We will evaluate, students' needs on a case-by-case basis, but typically a student does have to remain in a course for the remainder of at least the semester or the entire school year. And once again, there's really no 2-week grace period or a trial period of any kind. If a student selects a course or has been recommended for a course or wades into a course, they are in that course for the remainder of the school year. IE Squared is a special option that we offer to seniors only. IE Squared just allows students who have completed all their courses necessary for graduation to be able to leave at the end of their school day if they have no other courses that are needed for graduation. Just some myths surrounding this. We don't allow students to do this at the beginning of their school day during first and second period. Juniors are not allowed to IE Square. That is a myth. Students cannot remain on campus. They must leave campus during any class that they have that's IE Squared, even if they have a practice after school that they're trying to remain on campus for. We do not provide transportation to students, so they must provide their own transportation if they're going to be leaving during the school day at an earlier time. Some students believe that it cannot be revoked. However, if a student's graduation is in jeopardy, then we could revoke their IE Squared and have them stay in the building to complete, coursework in order to get caught up for graduation. And we also do not guarantee parking. So students must, have a parking spot, either here or at the church next door if they need to be able to leave early or have someone that is available to come and pick them up. Typically, our seniors do get first selection of parking, and it's never been an issue, but just know that we don't guarantee parking just because they are IE Squared. Also, colleges really don't like to see more than 2 periods IE Squared. They want to see that during their senior year, they still took a full course load. So that's why we only offer it during 6th and 7th period. So if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to use this link. Please know that we have a new email registration this year. So instead of emailing your individual counselor or an administrator, if you'll send all your questions to this email right here, SFHS-registration at forsyth.k12.ga.us. We have counselors and administrators that are manning that each day, and we're able to get answers to your questions a lot faster because it doesn't mix in with the rest of our emails that we're receiving in our normal inbox. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions, you could submit them using this QR code. Thank you.